Yeah, no, I have no opener to this. I don't even know how I can lead into this episode, which far and away surpassed how good I expected it to be. Though I should probably address the video I did last year, which I've been getting the exact same comment on ad nauseum for the last 2 weeks. So let me just play some clips from that video and a few others I did real quick for you. It's not necessarily one that I would be upset about if it got announced, but don't take that video as me saying I would hate it happening or anything. I fucking love both of these characters, and seeing them get covered would be so cool. This is the most excited I've been for an episode all season. I fucking love both characters and their series more than anything else Season 9's used so far, by a landslide. The point of that video wasn't that I would dislike if this happened, just that I thought they both had better options than each other, and I didn't think they played off each other too well in terms of scale or in terms of the fight's main connection. Alright, so now that that's clear and people aren't going to make the assumption that I dislike the episode solely off the matchup, even though plenty of my favourite episodes are matches I don't give the slightest shit about, let's actually discuss how Omni-Man vs Homelander turned out. I knew the episode was going to be good, but goddamn, even the previews shocked me with the level they were on. And you know what, the previews were so good, I'm going to write this bit of the script out a few days before the episode even drops. The analysis previews were great, though I'll cover the character rundowns in a minute. The animation previews is what I really want to focus on, because I legitimately do not know if there's a better setup to the fight in any other death battle ever made. There weren't any that particularly jumped to my mind before, and maybe I'm forgetting one, but my favourite I can think of off the top of my head right now is Snake vs Sam, and I think even that opening is outclassed here. It starts with Omni-Man flying home, and the first thing you'll notice is that the episode is hand-drawn. Not something anyone was expecting, I don't think. And once I got past the initial weirdness of seeing Nolan in a slightly different yet still kinda similar art style, I think these 2D models are very well put together for both of them. They look great, they move incredibly fluidly, and the backgrounds are all really well drawn. What I really want to give credit to though is the voice acting. Tom Schalk as Omni-Man gets his tranquil fury across fantastically with a fucking raw line, but it's Young Ye who absolutely steals the show here. Homelander's intimidating stage presence is a big part of why I love the character, and Young has every single one of his mannerisms down. The way he'll speak so calmly while walking around someone else's house like he owns the place, how he'll draw certain words out, take slight pauses, repeat certain words, mutter a few words under his breath, pause for a second and then laugh when he's taken aback. Every single thing I could want in a Homelander monologue is present here, with the background track being really eerie to help further sell the atmosphere. Oh yeah, and the bastard killed Debbie. When we got to this bit live on the Death Battle cast, my jaw hit the floor. It's such a well put together reveal, and on a rewatch I noticed that they took extra care to have Nolan cover her up at the start and glance over to her, which I didn't catch the first time around. I had that much praise to give over just the first minute of the animation, where in terms of the fight, only one attack is actually thrown. If they could keep up this level of quality, this could easily be the season's first 10 out of 10 and one of their new best of all time. Alright, so getting into the analyses, the biggest thing that some might notice is how they don't really delve into their comic histories past the show very much, only when it's fully necessary to explain an ability or feat one of them has. I thought that'd bother me, but you know what, they work around avoiding spoilers as best they can, and even working in the end of Nolan's rundown into the kind of character he does end up becoming. Also, I like that both segments end on a note about their sons, how both of their kids were the pathways to new beginnings for them, except Homelander failed miserably at that. The one thing I think they fumble on with spoilers, skip to this time frame if you want to avoid spoilers for future seasons of Invincible. Yeah, maybe don't show the scene of Nolan on his deathbed. Like, they get around the destruction of Viltrum by staying vague and not focusing on it outside of offhandedly mentioning it, but here they mention, oh, Viltrumites can have their healing nullified if their heart is damaged, accompanied by Nolan saying he can't heal because his heart is damaged. Good job, guys. Other than that though, I enjoyed the analysis all throughout. It covered what it could without spoiling the shows really well, and I like basically all of the jokes. Special shout out in particular to the way Boomstick delivers the Jesus, and the entire Homelander cutaway guy completely getting rid of people's assumptions that Blade vs Buffy would be this season. Chad really went and put us all into describing how quickly Homelander could have a scrummy moment. I have mad respect for that, honestly. Alright, so the fight now. I already mentioned the opener and how it's the best one the show's ever had, still great even after watching it like 20 times before the episode dropped. And what follows it is the one bit of the fight I see everyone complaining about, Omni-Man rushing Homelander down. Everyone complains that it's super small scale and lacks impact, even though these are the starting punches and the sound design sells the impact just fine, though I do agree they could have maybe distorted Homelander's body a bit to further sell it. And that aside, it shows Nolan not giving Homelander the chance to do anything and just fully mopping the floor with him, something that'll be prominent for the rest of the fight. Also, the line he follows it with is even more raw than his first one. It carries the same energy as his Earth isn't yours to conquer line against the Flaxans. From any other superhero it would come across as saying they just mean well, but knowing Omni-Man and his motives gives it that dark undertone and I love it. Homelander gets his own few hits in, immediately losing it at the thought of someone being able to match him, him, and then he smashes Nolan through some houses, then drags him through the street and into a gas truck. Nolan doesn't give a shit though and punches him through the sky. Then we get a scene which gives us two references in one, both to Nolan weaponizing public transportation and Homelander cutting a plane in half. It works two of their most iconic scenes into one in a way that feels really natural. Then we get Nolan schooling Homelander in a fistfight, which makes perfect sense. Like Omni-Man says, Homelander isn't used to fighting anyone in his own weight class, and he gets to show off his edge in both speed and strength, all while he lectures Homelander on how to properly fight. Homelander isn't completely helpless though. He does have a sonic scream which causes the first signs of visible damage to Nolan, stops his flight briefly, and allows Homelander to take the edge and pile drive him. Plus it's really well delivered, though I'll discuss the voice acting more in a second. The two crash into the ground and annihilate everyone around them, and Homelander's the first to get up. And we get one of the key parts of his character here, his full-on mental breakdown. He's battered, he's bloodied, and he's losing his goddamn mind now that he's finally met his match. Omni-Man, on the other hand, keeps his cool and taunts him. He doesn't give the slightest shit about Homelander or what his goals are, though he unfortunately does not finish the meme line by asking if Homelander's gonna piss, shit, or Mark IV projectile in his pants. Homelander screams again and uses the opening to do what he did to Stillwell at the end of season 1, focus his lasers full force into Omni-Man's eyes, all while screaming at the top of his lungs about how he's gonna kill everyone Nolan knows. And goddamn, for as well as Young sold the delivery and mannerisms of the cool and collected Homelander at the start, he does equally well when he's supposed to sound like a petty man-child throwing a temper tantrum. You know, I tried to word that in a way that didn't sound like I was insulting the VA, but I don't know if that fully came across, so I just want to clarify that's an important part of Homelander to get right, and Young did an incredible job. Anyway, so once Omni-Man gets fed up with what Homelander has to say, he decides to force him to stop talking by ripping off his goddamn jaw. And then we get one of the coolest fucking kills of the entire series as Omni-Man.exe rips out Homelander's heart and fulfills his promise from the start of the fight. He then helpfully teaches him how to eat and wishes him a happy holiday. What a nice guy. So yeah, that felt kinda short, but it was damn good. And if budgetary restrictions came down to making a choice between Homelander's opening monologue or another minute of these very limited toolkits fighting, I'm very glad we got the former. This is a very character-driven episode, and those tend to be some of my favourites. I already mentioned everything for Homelander, but there's also Omni-Man capturing that "I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed" energy, as one comment helpfully pointed out. And I think they did a great job at showing off the version of him from the show everyone's familiar with, while still hinting towards his good side at the end as he goes for the kill as soon as Homelander threatens Mark. And for as short as the fight was, it was jam-packed with references that never once felt like they were forced or shoved in the audience's face. Like, I'm sure a lot of people would completely miss how the end shot is framed like the Think Mark scene, or Nolan's red eyes being like what he had after his fight with the Immortal, or how Homelander's jaw getting torn off is a reference to, you guessed it, The Boys animated series. Yep, that's it. Nothing else. Don't think about it too much. Then there's the track, which is great, sounding pretty similar in tone to the song that plays over Omni-Man genociding a planet. I've listened to it quite a few times, it's really good. But the name is the dumbest thing ever. Invincible Diabolical Me is such a clunky sounding title, why would you call it that? Oh, and while we're on the topic of dumb naming conventions, I cannot get over how funny the Omni-Man preview title is on the Rooster Teeth website. Omni-Man thinks he'll win Death Battle is comedic gold. I can just imagine him with the J.K. Simmons voice going, yeah, no, I think I've got a pretty solid chance at this. And then they have to change the title for the YouTube version because he lost all his confidence. What? He has a sound-based attack? But I'm weak to sound. This is just Venom vs. Corona all over again. Bad matchup. I can't believe my biggest negative takeaways from this episode are the names of the track in a preview and the waiting period being more obnoxious than usual. I guess if I had anything wrong with the rest of the episode, it's Omni-Man never really audibly reacting to most of Homelander's attacks. Mainly the lasers to the eyes, it's kinda weird that he stays silent for that. When the Immortal was digging into his eyes, he was screaming quite a bit, but here he doesn't want to hurt Homelander's ears, I guess. Though I can see people complaining about that in the sense that the fight's a bit of a stomp, and I'll say that that's more or less the point. Homelander gets outclassed in stats and experience, which Omni-Man gets to demonstrate, but Homelander still gets to deal visible damage with his specific counters. It's neat character animation, and one of the few times I've seen the animation being a stomp work in a versus show. They also don't sugarcoat how much of a stomp it is in the conclusion, while still giving his Homelander his fair dues, which is neat. I especially like how they compare the difference between them to a warrior versus a bully. That just seems very fitting. So yeah, if this is any indication, I adored this episode. Sure, it's short, but it also has some of the show's best voice acting and character animation, an amazing looking hand-on art style, a kill that delivered on the gore more than anything in a while even if it was overhyped a bit, and the new best setup to any fight in Death Battle history. 10 out of 10, my new favourite of the season. Liam really went and killed any regret I had that this wasn't Omni-Man vs. Bardock. The man knows how to write a good script and they just let him go off. And the next episode's in the same boat as this one. I didn't really want it, but it has a character I like, so I'm excited as all hell. Might be another collab review with Brandon for that one if plans work out, who knows. My excitement's also partly carried by knowing this is DJ's writing debut for the show. I'm really excited to see how his script turns out. I'm sure it'll be good. Anyway, so I'm very tired. Go watch the highlight reel if you want. And also check out Nem's review. He's going through a tough time right now, so go show him some support. I really don't have it in me to talk any longer. It has been a long couple weeks. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the highlight reel.
Alright, annual Alucard versus Spawn.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
I think Alucard
okay.
got this, guys. I think Alucard got this.
Get him, Swan! Get him, Swan!
I mean, the only way you're beating Alucard is if you decapitate him.
Oh,
So.
you think you're so slick?
Yeah, Spawn, that's not gonna work.
Spawn's gonna have to be real tricky to decapitate Alucard.
Kill Spawn, Alucard him.
Yeah, get him Alucard.
Oh no! Oh shit!
Oh shit! Oh no!
Oh!
How did he survive that? How did he survive
Whoa.
that? He his face.
How is this dude still alive?
If he did this to Dio, he would have won.
Oh!
Uh-oh. Baskerville time.
Go on, Spawn!
Oh god, how'd that even happen?
No,
How the
that's
fuck
gonna
did
leave
that
a
happen?
mark. That's gonna leave a mark.
Yeah, I'm
What
gonna.
the fuck was that?
I
Come
disagree.
on.
I disagree with that outcome.
Yeah, not a big
Well,
I
fan.
mean, I disagree
What kind
too,
of
but
kill
I think
Alucard?
it was very entertaining. They did it in a very entertaining way. I don't even care.
It's like Goku versus Superman.
It's clearly the wrong outcome, but I'll allow it because it was
Yeah,
a pretty good fight.
Yeah.
Go guys,
Let's
Homelander
go.
sweep.
I like
Homelander
that.
sweep.
Screaming.
I am so fucking excited for this episode.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
This is fucking fun.
I haven't even
Homelander
seen
sweep.
either.
Homelander sweep. Homelander sweep.
No, Homelander's gonna win.
What would you do if
It
Homelander
was-
was in your house and he drunk a cup of cocoa as loudly as humanly possible?
That'd be awesome.
I tell him to get the
But you
fuck out of my
reacted to
house before
fight
I
style
die.
with Homelander drinking the coke like go.
Superman bad.
What if Superman's bad?
Superman bad.
Ooh.
Oh shit!
Good.
No.
That worked in the preview, but it didn't work in the when you just explained Superman. Oh my god, he really wants his son to think.
I like how that isn't even subtle.
Yeah. They didn't do anything clever with it.
Just as long as it's not actually in the fight.
Oh no, thick Omni-Man's gonna be in the fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one's gonna show his big ass in the fight.
If the cutaways boomstick become thick, this would be my favorite episode ever.
I'll die. I will die.
Oh yeah, I would die.
I want Homelander to crush my Omni-Man's fucking fat ass cheeks. Planet level ass, please. I beg of you.
I want
Please
to
make sure
get.
that this is in it. Like this is in. Make sure that line
Yeah, I
gets
got
in.
planet level ass, of course.
Frontal lobe.
Ooh, she broke a skull. That's wall level.
That's so stupid. Smart Adams.
They're really smart.
Was he crying?
Yeah,
he tried that? That little bitch? That little bitch?
Word,
He cried?
A man crying.
he just realized he beat up his son.
I don't know the context of that. I just.
Oh, that's Homelander's ticket to victory.
They're trying to convince people that his eye beams would kill him. Oh, and scream.
Oh,
Okay.
this is looking like a Homelander W,
Homelander's
guys.
gonna win.
Take the fat L on you, man.
Minimize casualties shows her getting fucked up.
Nolan flew so fast.
When you smell them
The
fries.
Get them fries.
With his own body
He's destroying the whole planet because he can't find any fries.
Yeah, plenty theater showing Morbius.
They had so much fucking fun, dude.
Jesus Christ! Oh, there it is.
He may have tried to turn Mark into
Ah, he didn't go thick. Ah,
They
damn
cut the
it.
clip.
Yeah, take the big fat L. You didn't get the think clip.
It's not like
Yeah, they mentioned feats in the comics, but I think they left the ending like ambiguous to how it goes in the book.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the show.
Alright with that.
Yeah, that's perfectly. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't like Homelander.
I really liked Homelander's preview.
Oh, they put milk on there? That's rancid. No. That is that is not okay to that is not okay to reference.
I like the addition of the baby crying sound effect there.
I can't. Oh wow, Ribbit. I can't believe you did voice work.
Who'd win? Homelander or Huntsman scream? Huntsman whistle.
Oh my god, Huntsman would fucking destroy Homelander.
Yeah.
Yeah, here, let me demonstrate real quick.
No.
Oh no.
Oh shit, it's the Captain Falcon song.
Ew.
What the
Oh,
fuck?
why
I
did they?
hate his face.
Oh, ew.
I've seen the full panel of that. It's not pretty.
I did not hear.
Oh my
Liam.
Watch out, Omni-Man.
That's no exaggeration.
That's really funny, but that's so
Chad
bad.
recorded that, said that line with his whole chest.
Yeah.
You can push it up.
You can bust a nut faster than the speed of sound. I'm never getting over the bust a nut beat.
Yeah.
I'm never getting
Yeah.
over that.
I'm
Where it's
still
all
like-
sitting in silence.
I'm just,
Yeah,
we're just all
that was
mesmerized.
That's how they.
What the fuck?
That was the incoming joke.
They both end it with just them being terrible parents.
Okay.
Alright.
Alright, here we go.
I'm so fucking pumped.
Let's go.
On a nice family. I hope he doesn't do anything to him.
Oh,
He
Sans.
loves.
Imagine that was just like a
Oh.
toy skeleton.
Homelander didn't even kill Debbie. He just put a skeleton there just to fuck with him.
He was
So fucking good. That's a setup.
Here we go.
Nisa, woo!
Oh.
Oh shit, go get him.
Oh. Oh shit.
Oh fuck!
Oh fuck.
The kid almost died.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Oh!
Yeah, go on. Yeah.
Hey!
Hey.
Oh,
That's a cool reference to both.
Millions dead.
Oh!
oh my god. Go on, yeah! Go get him!
That is just Omni-Man. He
Oh!
got it.
Oh. Holy shit.
Oh, yep, they're
Oh,
all
they're dead!
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Incinerated.
Fly.
Mental breakdown time?
You're gonna fly.
Piss your pants, maybe?
Oh no, don't say the last thing. He will do it. He will do it. Jesus Christ!
Look, he looks like a creepypasta. Feed it. Go on, feed him it.
Yes.
Yeah!
Oh my god!
That's so
Oh my
fucking
God.
metal. Holy shit.
Christmas.
Oh. That was short, but so solid.
Yeah, that was
Oh my
great.
God.
That was sick.
That was
People,
just
I guarantee people are going to be annoying about how short it was, but
It's a
I
fully
I'm
hand-drawn
alright with-
fight!
I'm good with them trading it into that setup.
stronger he is.
Also, it's like, how can you
Oh
drag
my
this
No,
fight
no.
longer?
I want
It's so
this unrealistic fight to be even longer. I want Jesus, that was so good.
Omni-Man didn't struggle at all in that fight.
Yeah,
I mean, he got his eyes burnt.
He just stared that down.
Homelander left some lasting damage.
I mean, Omni-Man was only pushed to kill him when he threatened Mark.
Yeah, my boy.
Nice.
Right.
Really good.
Alright, next time.
Tetsuo, I'm
Boba
guessing.
Fett Star-Lord, Boba Fett Star-Lord. Let's go, boys.
Let's see.
Oh boy, cannot wait. Boba Fett Star-Lord. Boba Fett
Okay,
Star-Lord.
let's see.
Yup.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hey! Let's go!
It's happening.
yeah!
Hell yeah.
Bye, Tetsuo.